Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping parents and juniors navigate through the journey of junior golf. From fitness to mental coaching, we cover it all on this podcast. Here's your host, Ro Thompson.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. I'm your host, Ro Thompson. And man, we have a special guest on the podcast today. It's none other than Debert Cook from the African American Golfers Digest. Hey, Debert, how you doing?
Hey, Ro. I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for agreeing to do this. And, I see a lot of the good things that you're doing out there in the golf industry. And we appreciate everything that you do to keep everybody in the know, as they say.
Oh, sure. It's my pleasure. It's a lot of good things happening. We want to make sure everybody knows about it.
That's right. So before we get into the magazine, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Nothing special about me. You know, I grew up in the Midwest. I'm the great granddaughter of a coal miner.
Okay.
Our family is originally from Montgomery, Alabama. I've done my DNA results, and my people come from Cameroon. Okay. So I was thrilled to learn about that. I started the magazine as a part of being involved in golf. When I started playing the game, I saw a lot of people like me, but I didn't see them between the pages of magazines. So that's how I started the magazine. I am currently a golfer. I've always golfed for the last 21 years. 21 years, yeah. So I enjoy the game. I'm not a competitive player as far as tournaments go. I love the game socially, and I love it because of the exercise and the outdoor environment.
Well, good. Well, how did you get into the game of golf? What happened?
Pretty simple. I was curious. I got invited to a tournament.
Okay.
I had been watching Tiger Woods on TV, and that was about 22 years ago. And then when I got invited to the tournament, I said, you know what, let me take some lessons. Everybody's telling me I should get involved in golf and being a business owner. So that's what I did. I took some lessons in New York down at Chelsea Piers. I had a wonderful instructor. Mandy was her name, a girl named Mandy. And after my 6 weeks of lessons, I headed out to Las Vegas for a corporate golf invitational. That was part of my meeting planning industry. I'm a meeting planner by trade.
Okay.
So the tournament turned out well. I met a lot of people, came home with a handful of business cards that turned into successful leads for me, many of them. Okay. And I love the sport from when I learned I'm playing against myself to see if I can beat myself. That's what really attracted me to the game and the outdoor environment.
Well, good. Well, I heard you're a long drive champ.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens, but when I'm in tournaments, I usually win the ladies' long drive. I'm not a super long driver, but I guess I have the luck of the draw, and I keep it in the fairway, and it's longer than everybody else's. So I have a couple of trophies from that I'm pretty proud of.
Right, that makes a difference when you can keep it in the fairway. So that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the magazine. How did you get this famous magazine started?
Oh, that's so kind of you. I wish it were more famous because a lot of people still don't know about the publication. Yeah. I started it in 2003, and it started out as a small digest size magazine. So that's why it was called the African American Golfers Digest. And then after the second issue, when I started getting subscriptions in on the website, before we even printed the first copy, I was getting subscriptions in. I'm like, oh my gosh. So after the second issue, I migrated to a full-size 9x10 magazine. And it's been running successfully with over 80,000 readers every quarter for the last 20 years.
Wow. And so this year you're celebrating your 20th anniversary?
That's right. Yeah. This coming March will be 20 years since the first issue launched. Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us who's the magazine for? I mean, is it designed for parents, juniors, players, everybody? Who's it specifically written for?
It's specifically written for anybody who loves golf,
Good.
any color, creed, gender, nationality, religious affiliation. It's for people who want to know what's happening in golf, specifically in African American sector of golf. It's a very niche publication. We cover Black women, Black men, Black teens, Black golf clubs, Black golf courses. So if you want to know about any of that, whoever you are, we can help you with that.
Awesome. So what have been some of your greatest you feel as far as your greatest accomplishments as it relates to the magazine's history? What's been your favorite part?
Oh my God, that's pretty easy. My favorite part is that I get these wonderful letters from readers, and now they're emails and texts and voice messages. But I get them from parents who say that it's really inspired their child. Some of the children who may be autistic, it's been a great game for them. The parents will write me such lovely letters to say thank you. I'm so glad I found out about this publication. And I also get some wonderful letters from students who've started their first job in the golf industry or gotten their first internship because of opportunities that we've listed in the magazine. Those things just really warm my heart and make the effort really worth it to me.
That's great. And what's been your favorite edition so far?
Oh, that's another easy question too. My favorite edition is the first edition.
The first one? Tell me about the first one. Yeah, tell me about the first edition.
It has a man and a woman on the cover, and we still use it as the icon for our Instagram. And I love that cover because I remember when I first thought of the idea, when I first thought of, is it going to work? Who should I first interview? You know, it was just so much that went into that first issue until that's my favorite issue. And to see how far the magazine has come and the reach and the circulation that it has gained since then. So that's my favorite issue.
That's awesome. So you say you have 80,000 readers, and do you know exactly how many editions you've put out?
We've put out, it's been about 25 editions. Okay. We've got digital and print. Okay. And it comes out, every other issue is a print issue that we combine with the digital issue. So it does come out 4 times a year. And we also have a digital platform. Okay. Yeah, it does come out 4 times a year. It alternates digital, print, but each print includes the digital. So it's a double issue with each print issue.
Now, question for you: when you went from the print to the digital, was that an easy decision, or was that one of those where I don't know how this is going to work? But tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, that experience has kept us alive. That's what that is. It's kept us on the market because the whole landscape of print changed, and it changed suddenly. I watch so many magazines go out of business left and right that were print only. So when digital became an availability and an affordable availability for us, we jumped right into it. I did my first digital issue, I think maybe 4 years ago. And ever since then, we've been picking up even more subscribers on the digital side and more young people on the digital side. The reason I'm still printing print when I look at my numbers is because of the loyalty of our senior readers. They still want something to hold on to. So we still make that print available to them. And that demographic, we did skew older when we first started, 40 and up. Now it's 50 and up. Okay. So that digital side helps us with the young people, but the print, our seniors keep telling me, don't get rid of it. Please don't get rid of your print. So I do make an effort to keep that going.
Good. About how many prints do you put out like every quarter?
We print 20,000 copies and they go all over. People even try to get P.O. boxes who live in the Caribbean and overseas. They'll get a P.O. box in the U.S. so they can still get the magazine. So that's what we do with that to help everybody who still wants to hold on to the print.
That's great. That's great. Well, it sounds like the magazine has done very well over the last 20 years. And is there anybody that has been a great contributor to the magazine that you would love to give a shout out to?
Yep, but I can't list no names because I'm going to leave somebody out.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble for that, right? Well, listen, just give a global shout out.
Okay. all of my board members, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of my board members, all
Yeah.
of my executive team, especially James Beatty, who's been there with me, Edward Wanaba, who's been with me for a long time until he semi-retired and moved to Cambodia, but he still contributes as an editor at large. Those people and people with the golf clubs, the Black golf clubs, they really have helped me with their membership. They'll bring on board a copy of the magazine for each of their members. That has really helped us. Yes, I want to thank all of those people.
Well, I know they're thankful for that shout out. And I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, man, we need to put the Junior Golf Podcast in the magazine.
Absolutely, you must do that and do it soon. It's no big deal. It's so easy.
Hey,
just
listen,
email me.
I'll follow your lead. You just coach me, okay? Now, now you've been around the game of golf for a long time. What do you see that needs to change in the game of golf for it to grow in our industry, in the African American industry?
There's a lot of answers to that one, and there's a lot of right answers to that. There needs to be more access. We're getting that. Yes. There needs to be more funding. We're getting that with some of the initiatives from the golf organizations. We're getting grants now that we never had. We're getting more scholarship opportunities for our young people. We're getting more career
opportunities. Yeah.
Pro golf, and I would like to see more that continue to happen. It's been happening very rapidly since I started the magazine. It's been such a growth in diversity programs, and it's just overwhelming to see people being receptive to our niche marketplace and helping African Americans who are interested in careers and in playing professionally to bring on board some of those exemptions, the scholarships, the funding, the grants. And a lot of this is even done by individuals. They're not even affiliated with an organization, but they'll put their name on a grant or their name on a scholarship, and they'll say, can you help us find somebody who can qualify for this scholarship? We have money to give. So that's one thing I'm happy to see happening.
Yeah, that's great. And as you can see with the, of course, this being the Junior Golf Podcast, there are a lot of great things happening in the junior golf industry with Jim Thorpe, Steph Curry. I think Tiger's done a tournament. Of course, the Mac Champ Invitational. So there are a lot of great things that's happening in the junior world as well.
That's true. It's so true. And it's good to see because that's where our next tour players are going to come from, that junior group of players. And it only happens, if the parents are behind the child. That's one thing I've found too in the industry. There can be a lot of kids interested in golf, but if the parent does not support the child, because either they're working too much or it's just too much strain on them to try to go around and get equipment or drop them off, the child cannot be involved. And that's why junior golf is important, because some of the organizations will provide the transportation and of course the equipment once they get there, but it's getting the child there.
Correct. Yeah, it's almost, I talked to a lot of the junior dads around the country, and it's almost like, we would love it to be a full-time job, junior dad. We'd love for it to be a full-time job, because it is, because you have to deal with the travel, the tournaments, equipment, golf lessons, getting to the golf course. And so it's really almost like a full-time job to be able to raise a junior golfer. So yeah, it's huge. So what's next for the magazine? What do you project happening in the next year or two?
Well, I would say there's a couple of things I'm happy about. We're doing a lot of travel and tour programs for people who love to play golf and want to see some of the world. We've got a program in June to Africa for the celebration of the Africa Ghana Panafest. That happens in July. In upcoming August, we do our 7th annual Martha's Vineyard Golf Classic Getaway. So that's another very popular program. Those are all upcoming for this year. And then we've got some nice destinations rolling out for 2024. Since COVID interrupted a lot of our travel and programs, we're bringing back the Dubai trip. We're bringing back a Senegal and Gambia trip. And we're doing another South Africa, Cape Town trip. So those will be on our website for 2024, and they'll go up probably around early summer, like around May, June.
Okay, so that's another part of the infrastructure, the travel part of the magazine and that kind of stuff. So what else do you try to, make a part of the magazine besides travel? Anything else?
Yeah, anything else that brings revenue to the magazine. Everything
Gotcha.
we do
Yeah.
is to benefit the publication of the magazine.
Right.
We don't have a foundation. We don't qualify as a nonprofit. So
Right.
everything we do is for profit and it's to benefit the magazine.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So you probably take on sponsors or advertisers. Does that help the magazine as well?
Yep, that's one of our
Mhm.
revenue streams. Advertising, people will do it digitally. They want a banner ad on our website, or
Okay.
they want a print ad in a magazine, or
See?
they want an e-blast to go out, or they want to be mentioned on our social media. All
Right.
that stuff helps us to keep printing and publishing,
That's
helps pay
good.
our writers, our designers, our layout artists, our photographers. It's a
Right.
lot of work, and a lot of people have to eat. So we cannot just ask for people to volunteer. We need a reliable team of people, which we
Right.
have, and they have to be paid.
Yeah, you have to, give them some compensation for their time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to Otis, and I know he does some. I think he does a couple of things for you as far as some of the tournaments
Yep.
around. Yeah, so he talks
Otis
about
Wyndham.
he talks about
Great
how
guy.
enjoyable that is.
Yeah, we have a lot of people. They will volunteer their time. They'll
Yeah.
volunteer. They say, I want to do this. Do you have a need for that?
Right.
And I appreciate it because I know time is valuable to everyone, but they want to help. They want to be involved. And we'll find a place for you. If you want to be involved, we'll find a place for you.
Awesome. So as we get ready to wrap up, how can our listeners follow the magazine?
You can find us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. And you can also find us on the web, AfricanAmericanGolfersDigest.com. And you can always just email me if you're looking to just speak with me directly. I'm on LinkedIn under my name.
Gotcha. All right. Now, last question. Who's your dream magazine on?
I'm sorry, what?
Who's your dream magazine? Like if you could get like a golfer, and you could do a story on this particular golfer, who would be your dream magazine on?
Oh, okay. Like a feature article on who I would like to interview.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a long list.
You
Oh
got a
my
long list.
God.
Okay.
That's a long
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I love Samuel L. Jackson. I would love to talk to him. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
golfer.
I
Yeah.
really admire his game and his acting skills. I watch a lot of his movies over and over again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And there's some other good golfers out there too. Of course, Michael Jordan plays. And
Yeah, he does play well.
yeah, it's some good.
Does
Charles
play
Barkley,
well.
that
Plays well.
would
Plays
be
well.
hilarious.
What would be hilarious is how my game stands up to theirs. That would be hilarious.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, listen,
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming on. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience? And of course, this is junior golf. Anything you want to say to our junior golfers out there?
Okay. I'm glad to see them involved. Keep checking our website for all kind of opportunities across the board for juniors. Depending on the age group, there's a lot of things available that don't cost them anything. Also, I want to tell the parents, keep it up with your kids and subscribe to our publication. We carry a Teens Tee that's always inspirational for them with stories and profiles. And if you have a child that's doing some wonderful things or really involved in the game, no matter how good they play, let us know. We'd love to see them featured in the magazine as well. And just to subscribe to the publication.
Awesome. Well, we're here at the Junior Golf Podcast. Debert, we thank you for coming on this afternoon, and we'd love to have you on again in the future. And thanks for all you do in the golf industry. Okay.
Okay, Ro, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Junior Golf Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any of our social media networks. See you next week for a new episode